Hello from Frozen Frontiers. Been a bit, but we're doing some spring cleaning today in preparation for building a gate and fence. So the way that I'm doing this is I've got my trailer, my excavator, and I am just loading all these logs onto the trailer and moving them up to the front. So I'll be having a pile for good usable logs and a pile for just basically mulch, stuff that I can either just carve up or let rot, I guess. I don't know, find something to do with it, but we'll see. So yeah, all these piles of logs that are laying around, I'm gonna get them cleaned up today. We got some greenhouse windows and frames. They're in really rough condition. Got a lot of rust on them, but we're gonna have to replace all of the windows inside of them too. But we got them for stupid cheap. I mean, even just for the metal, it was stupid cheap. So we're probably gonna be designing our own thing, figuring out how to weld and all that jazz. But yeah, so that being said, let me show you kind of what I'm cleaning up here, because I want this place to actually start looking halfway decent. And I'm gonna be absolutely destroying my driveway today with all this moving around I'm gonna be doing. But yeah, I'd like to get piles like this cleaned up. I was working on this right here just now. That pile right there is what I pulled from here. So yeah, that's pretty much cleaned up. It's just trash stuff that I'll be moving last and putting in its own pile. So I was cutting some firewood out of that stuff yesterday, so there's sawdust all over the ground, which is pretty cool. And yeah, as part of this cleaning up, I'm going to be getting stuff like this picked up, all this moved into a different place, some of these old pipes moved. This is a big pile right here, very big pile here. I've also got a couple down there. This log right here I pulled from down there, actually. It's a really big log. I'm going to try and make as much of the gate as I can out of this one. And really, I just need to pull the bark all off. Then heat treat the outside of it, I think, is all I'm going to do. Basically, you just put it over a fire and scorch the outside of it. That helps harden it up, protect it from rotting. So there's a lot of logs in here to move. I'm going to try and get that tree right there down, but we'll see how frozen the ground is right there still. I still see some ice right here, so ground might be still too frozen for me to try and get that tree out. But then we got a pile here, a pile here, a pile here, a bunch of trees that have fallen down back in there. We got a big pile over here. Looks like quite a few trees have fallen down over by Brandon's spot. Quite a few. And it is still a little bit muddy, but it's a lot better than it was even just a few days ago. So, but yeah, it looks like that tree fell down onto Brandon's. That's cool. Yeah, it busted right off right there and fell over. So yeah, we got a lot of cleaning up to do today, but I've got nothing but time and gas. So I'll try and get all this stuff out. I have a cleaner. And yeah, just get it kind of looking nicer. And man, last time I came out here with the excavator, I really put some good tracks down. Some really good tracks. Yeah, it was kind of cool when I came out during the winter. There was a moose that had walked back through here, and it came through here around these trees, stumbled into here a little bit, and then took off back through those trees out there. So the general layout while I'm out here, there's going to be a pathway, because these trees, this whole spot right here, this is all dead. So I'm going to take those out. So there will be a road that goes back this way, and Alton's container will be back there on the left. There will probably be another spot for a container on the right across from him. But I also don't want to have too many of these too close together, because it kind of defeats the purpose of getting out and experiencing the wild if you're right next to somebody. So yeah, over here by Brandon's, yeah, there were 2 of those dead trees fell over, it looks like. So we've got his power already here, and the septic already here. These are gonna have to be moved. Well, or at least shoved down further, because this is where he's gonna be parking, right here. Anyway, so yeah, I'll come back in here, grab these. This one looks like it is rotted. Yeah, that is just nasty, nasty wood. Not terribly surprising it fell off of that. I wonder if the other side of that tree is dead too. Let's see. It doesn't feel as squishy, so the other side of the tree might still be alive. But yeah, these ones fell over. There was something that made some marks there. It's kind of weird. But yeah, get these picked up, moved, cleaned up a bit. I'll be back when I'm pretty much done. Well, welcome back. It's been a bit, as you can tell. So it's like 9:30 right now. Sun's getting close to the horizon. Got quite a bit of stuff moved. So since the last time that I showed you, there was just that little pile over there. Now I had to go to town in the middle of this, so this isn't like 9 hours worth of work. This is probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours worth. Yeah, there's a pretty good sized pile here now. And I was able to get most of the brambles and stuff out of it, so it should be a lot easier to get processed. And honestly, what I'll probably do is just put them on the front of this guy here. And I'll put them here and cut them to length, because I want it to be like, I don't know, 6 foot, and it is 6 feet from right here to the other side of the well. So if I put them here, that's a pretty good indication that they're the right length. But I put all of the stump ends on this side, so that while I'm pulling them off, I can just cut the stump off. And then I'll probably pull all the stumps into a big pile, and I don't know how easy it is to burn stumps, but we'll figure out. So that's what that pile looks like. Let me take you over to where they are cleared from and just show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to get a burn permit for one of the things I'm doing, because I dug a very, very deep hole that I put a lot of the trash, cuts, and stumps and brambles and all that jazz in. Tried to level out the ground here a little bit. So yeah, I got most of this pile moved. This is still pretty frozen under here. Like, this is a big block of ice. So I'm gonna wait for that to melt before I pull the rest of that up. And it has the old PV cables going through it. So yeah, I'm gonna let that melt, pull those up so I can reuse them. Make sure I check them for any holes or gaps in the cable or whatever. But so I am standing where one of those big piles was. Come over here. So yeah, there was a massive pile there. It's kind of crazy to not see that big pile there anymore. Kind of wild. Okay, looks good. Need to get the plywood moved. I'm pretty sure it's garbage by this point because it sat out all winter, so probably just burn it with everything else. But essentially what I did, all the little scrap crap pieces, I just put here and here. And I dug, you can see all the dirt from it. I dug a pretty deep hole right there. Then I'm just throwing it all in. and I'll just burn it. So that way it's underground, it's contained, and then I can throw all this crap cottonwood into it too. The guy that I bought cottonwood from decided to, or the guy that I bought a cord from decided to bring me a bunch of cottonwood, which is essentially useless for the type of burning I needed to do. But also there was a little bit of a section over here. There's still, this mound right here is completely frozen still. So couldn't really get to that. I did get a big pile here, and then this is all the garbage from that. And that's pretty much as far as I made it. There's still so many trees, probably double the amount of trees that I've already done over here that I need to get to. But that'll be next time on next episode. Well, maybe not next episode, but next video clip. So the plan here is I'm going to put a post in here, one of those logs. I'm going to use another log just to go across the top. Maybe I'll have one more log that goes diagonal that way. That goes to the middle here. And then I'll dig another hole there. Put another post in. It's a beautiful day out today. Right where that current post is. And then do the same thing this direction. They'll meet in the middle, which is where I'll have a chain, links them together, and a lock. Just a very, very basic fence, but hey, you know what? It's better than nothing. Alright, so we dug the first pole hole. Got the pole in, filled it in. It might be a little bit tall, and it's a little bit further away from that tree than I wanted it, but I didn't want to break up the roots of that tree, because that tree is still quite alive. And I would absolutely love to have its cover. So didn't want to break up the roots of it too bad, so stayed a little bit away. But I'm not going to treat this. Normally you're supposed to peel the bark off, which I did. And then like blaze the outside of it just to kind of treat it a bit. I kind of want to just like see firsthand how fast wood deteriorates when it's out here like this. So I mean, if this lasts a good while, then that's great. If it doesn't, oh well, I'll just do it again. It didn't take that long to do anyways, so. Yeah, basically what I did is I just chopped off a section that I thought would be good to go and put it in the ground. I hope it's not too wobbly. I didn't even, oh, that is, yeah, that's in there pretty good, actually. I think you could probably run a truck into it and it would, I mean, it would probably bend over, but it would do your truck pretty good. So yeah, then I just chopped off a little piece. I was going to use the Husky that I got. That's been working just fine. But I didn't want to get the gas mixture out and do all that stuff. So I just used the Black & Decker that I've got here. And I mean, it does okay. I've got unlimited power right now because of the sun. So figured why use gas? But yeah, so we got this one in. What I'm going to do is right up here on top, I'm going to use the chainsaw to notch out where the bracket's gonna go. So I'll notch it out here down to here, maybe a little bit further back actually, like from here down, so that I've got more space on this. But then that log that I'm gonna bracket onto it, that guy maybe I'll get a heavier one because that's really, really thin. Yeah, we'll just have the bracket, fence post bracket that goes here, hinge, and it'll go that way. So I am very, very satisfied with how sturdy that is, though. That is in there. It's a good deal. So yeah, I'm gonna get the machete back out, get the rest of the bark up off the top of here, and then notch it out. I tried to see if the chainsaw would get the bark off, but it just kind of slips off. The bark is too protective for it, so yeah, I'll have to use it's not really that big of a deal, because when you hit the ends of it like this, it just comes right off. So yeah, just grab the machete. Anyway, a little bit of change of plans here. I got a bigger pole. I think it's probably too heavy for this bracket. We'll find out really quick. am slightly worried that when I let the weight off of this, it's gonna just rip this entire thing off of here. But I guess we'll see. I took some of these bolts and I tried to put them that way. If I need to, what I'll do is I'll notch out down here, put another pole going diagonal up to support the weight a little bit better. But we'll see. I'm gonna let the weight off the excavator a little bit and see if it holds up. This is rated for 120 pounds, which I think it'll do fine. I just am not sure that the wood on this pole is actually going to hold up, but we'll see. It's pretty, so this actually came from this. It's basically like I chopped it off here, and then this is the top part of that. Right here is where this pole starts and goes all the way over. So this is one tree that's going to make up my gate, hopefully. And I mean, if I need to, I could use, that's kind of a big guy to use for support. Well, might not be bad. But yeah, I got all my tools out, getting all this done, so see if she holds up. Well, it didn't work. Bent the crap out of the hinge. So I'll do this a little bit different. Instead of having a hinge, I'm just gonna have a swivel. So I grabbed a 3-inch tile. I think that goes through wood too. I mean, it went through this just fine. But I marked out where that is, so I'm gonna cut all around it and get this circle here out. And then what I'm gonna do is on that, I'm just gonna drill a circle into it all the way through. And then I can just put that circle on top of here. And then I'm hoping that this 3 inches of wood will hold up to that. I'm thinking it will hold up probably better than that hinge did. Be a little bit harder to move, but that's fine with me. Doesn't need to be greased up and super movable. So yeah, now I'm getting this notched out so that I can pull them out. I probably need to go a little bit further down with these. Well, maybe not, because I already notched that out, so yeah, maybe not. I mean, the other way to do this would be I hang a little bit of that length this direction so that it's kind of offsetting its weight a little bit. Because, I mean, this pole, you could put a ton of weight on top of it, but as far as bending this way or that way, like I would hope that this is able to hold up. I don't know, we'll try. Well, it's a little bit crooked, but it's holding up. So I think it's crooked because, well, A, there's a lot of weight on this side, and B, this is a tiny bit too small. I cut it out just a little bit too much, which is fine. I just need to cut out the other side if I can find a tree to do the other side. But the notch is lined up pretty good. There's this, so as it swings around, it's not hitting the pole at all. I could clean this up a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. The way that I'm thinking that I could fix this is I make a cap that goes over top of here, and then put a band around this so that it's protected, and this cap would get pushed down onto the top of here pretty hard and pushed down on the back of this. It would put a lot of stress on this part of the wood, but it would also lift up that side and push this part right here down, because I mean, you can see how much empty space there is over there. A lot. So it would push this down into the space that it could occupy. But I mean, I think that that's a project for a different day, because I'll show you. I mean, it leans, but it's pretty sturdy. I mean, I could probably break it off if I really tried to, if I put a bunch of weight on there, but it swivels just fine. So, and then the nice thing is it actually stays in place after you move it. I was worried about the hinges letting the gate swing closed while I'm driving through it. It'd be really annoying. but this seems to work. So yeah, I'll design something to get that anchored a little bit better. But now I need to find, because I was hoping that when I did the hinge, I cut this halfway, that it would be enough to make a difference for the hinge, but it was not. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find another tree for over there, because this is like the thickest one that I have. So now I'm on the look. See if I have any in this pile over here that I cleaned up. There she is. This one over here is a little bit crooked still. That one turned out all right. I was worried it was gonna break again. I'll show you what I mean in a second, but turned out okay. I had to bring the plasma cutter out to cut a little bit of that chain off of the links over there. Went right through it. It was pretty nice. Got all the tools in a pile now so that I can just back my truck up, put them on the back, and then make one trip over to the shed to put them away. But yeah, here we go. So what I did here was just took some of those bolts that I was planning on using, and these chains can't fit through here, so I just bolted them down in, cut double length that I needed. Gives me a little bit of play both ways, and if it tries to open, it just goes like that. Oh man, I'm exhausted. This one over here was a pain in the butt compared to this one. You would think this one would have been harder because it's all thicker. Nope, this one was way harder. So I'm not even really sure why it was so much harder, but probably because I had to do it twice. I put this one too close to the edge and it snapped all the way through. So couldn't use that anymore. So it was already a little bit too long anyway, just a tiny, well, now that it's straightened out, it's not too long, but yeah, it was a little too long. So I went right here. There's some knots that are holding this together. I mean, I hope that they are. This one stood up pretty straight. I did have to bend the pillar this way a little bit just to prop it up, but no, it turned out pretty decent. I'm still on the fence on whether whether I would take all the bark off of this or not. It's all gonna fall off eventually, but yeah, it just kind of comes right off. So yeah, I'm on the fence on whether I want to do that right now or not. Probably not right now. I need to get some food. I haven't eaten yet, so get some food after I get all this stuff put away. Yeah, no, it turned out pretty decent. I had to find a pole from that pile over there, but it wasn't really that hard to find. There was one that was like third one down that actually was a stump pole, which I'm kind of okay with because that makes the bottom more cemented into the ground. There's not any like concrete or anything on the bottom of these, so they're just in the ground, but they are quite sturdily in the ground. Like I can, only because I am making this entire thing bounce by moving it, does the base even move at all. So yeah, it turned out pretty decent. It looks like, oh no, that does stay away. Very cool. Yeah, there's some sap dripping out of it. It's pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure that this tree was dead when I knocked it down. It was very, very, very dark. So sap must have just collected around the knots, and since I'm right by some knots right there, yeah, anyway, you know, this turned out pretty decent. Still need to build a fence, but this is a good start. And this is, I mean, relatively similar to what the rest of the fence is going to look like. Relatively similar. And I'm pretty sure that I'm far enough off the road. I think you have to be, it's either 10 or 25 feet. If I'm not far enough off the road, it is by barely. So should be good. I couldn't find the key to the lock that's on this tree for the chain. So I'm just gonna have to leave it there until I can find the key. I'm pretty sure it's in my truck, maybe in one of the doors. But yeah, let's get cleaned up. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be it for this video. I think I've got at least a decent amount of content for you to see what I've been up to over here. Yep, I'm pretty tired. Probably mostly just because I haven't eaten yet. Get some food in me, get some energy back, and then relax for the night. Seems counterintuitive, but having energy while relaxing is much better than being completely dead while relaxing. Though they both can have their own merits. Being completely dead while relaxing isn't too bad if you've got a hot tub to do it in. That'll be soon. That'll be soon. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be able to relax in a hot tub after a day like this. I'm sure I'm filthy because my arms have it all over and my shirt's super dirty. I even pulled out some boots. Check this out. Didn't help for that, but whatever. Yeah, I don't like pants and it's too warm out here already. It's like 64 degrees out today. That was a really weird camera angle. Sorry, I did not hand it over my other phone right. So yeah, I'm gonna get cleaned up and enjoy the rest of my evening, as I hope that you do, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Have a good time out there, and we'll catch you next time.